Welcome to my Kettlebell Get Up Ultimate Guide video. Today I'm going to show you how to do the Kettlebell Get Up, my simple step system from the ground up all the way down, step by step by step. All right, let's jump right into it. This is how it looks. All right, the first step is going to be the setup. Remember this word, starfish. Starfish. You want to get into a starfish position when you're setting up for the Kettlebell Get Up. All right, why do you do that? Well, how do you do that? First off, you're going to look like a starfish like this. You're laying out flat right here. All right? Like a dead starfish. All right? Could have found a better name, but hey, that's what it is. It's a starfish. So in this position, the reason you're in this position, because when you're getting into the get up, you want to have your feet this width apart and your hands this width apart. So just like a starfish. So for example, when I'm doing the get up, I would bend this knee. My hand is here, which I have. We're not going to go until bell yet. I'm going to have you use a shoe. This is going to give you that feedback you need to keep your arm vertical, which is important when you're doing the actual get up. So you're in that starfish position. You're bending that kettlebell side leg. All right. Planting that shoe. Arms vertical, straight overhead. All right. This hand is about 45 degrees out. This is the setup part of it. All right. You want to reach in with your hand towards your hip, and then you reach back out, okay? So about 45-degree angle, okay? This leg is fully flexed, quads, locked knee, heel pointed out, toes up, all right? Flexed foot, not planted foot, flexed foot, all right? In this position, and then this foot here, last part, you want it planted in the ground. I like to bring it a little bit closer to me. So because this is your drive, this is what you're driving into it out of the get up, from the get up to the roll up part, which is generally the hardest part for most people. So that's why you're taking time to set this up. So once you have your heel on the ground, your legs locked, you find that 45-degree angle, this leg straight up here. What do you do from here? Well, you need to get up, right? So this is the roll up part. So keep in mind, it's not a crunch up. I've seen a lot of people trying to crunch up from the get up. It's not a crunch up, it's a roll up. So what I want you to do is, before you even go into the roll up or get up out of this position, I want you to practice rolling onto that planted arm side. Roll and back. Roll and back. Why are you doing that? Because when you're actually going to the roll up, you're going to roll, but you're going to drive yourself onto your elbow, roll into this position here. All right? That's why that roll is important. It's that same roll. Same roll. See, roll, roll up. Okay? Roll up. Practice rolling and then rolling up. All right? Come back down. So, how do you do that? Well, this is an important key tip here. So, this arm here is going to be planted in the ground. You're going to find that 45-degree angle. You're going to come out to the side here. Make sure my mic's working. All right, 45-degree angle, up to the side. You're planted in the ground. You're pretending there's a stick in the ground right here. You're going to grip it with your hand, squeeze your fist, and as you roll into it, you're going to pull yourself onto that stick, onto that, and activate your lat here, this big back muscle on the side here, as you roll up onto that elbow. So you're going to drive, pull that stick, press this leg, your bent knee leg, into the ground, and drive yourself rolling, but upward by pulling on that stick. So pull, roll up. Okay. Let me show you again. So plant. That's pressing you this way. That's why you're practicing the roll. Plant that stick, engage that lat, fully straight arm, roll up. Okay? It should be nice and smooth once you get it correctly. You'll know you do it correctly when you roll up nice and smooth. And there's none of this. There's none of the grinding. You're trying to crunch it up. It's not a crunch. It's a roll up. You are using your core. You need to activate your abs and your core, but it's not a roll up. It's not a grind. It's a roll up. So, practice the roll, okay? Practice the roll. and then plant, abs, power it up. Okay? That's the roll-up part. That's generally the hardest part for most people. All right, once you're here, you're going to come onto your hand. Let me grab my shoe because you want to make sure, this is what I want you to do when you're practicing. Practice with the shoe because that's going to make sure your arm stays vertical. Because when you have a kettlebell overhead, you can't be having your hand here, back here, here. First of all, you can hurt your shoulder. Second of all, the ball's going to drop. You're not going to be able to hold it. So maintaining that vertical forearm, practicing that while you're learning this get up in my ultimate guide, you want to have that shoe to give you that constant feedback to know if your hand's vertical enough or not. All right, so I'm going to grab my shoe. Where's my shoe? Make sure it's a clean shoe. I just washed it. All right, here we go. So grab that shoe, make a fist. It's going to go right on top of your fist, okay? Pointing straight overhead. So find that position, 45-degree angle, arm out, plant that foot, drive, roll up. All right, from here, okay, next part is going to get onto this hand. So what do? You're going to press your hand into the ground and roll up, okay? And from here, you want to drive your back, your shoulder down, back of your shoulder. You're going to activate your lat on this planted arm side. You should have a fully straight arm. My arm looks bowed. Yes, I know it hyperextends, but it's straight. Trust me. So if I was looking from this side, see how nice and locked it is? All right. So that's how it should be when you roll it up. Or I'm showing you from this side because the camera angle is better and you can see it better. So once you roll up, once you get into that position, okay, power breathe it up, drive it up, you're here. What do you do next? All right, so this is where you need to sweep through. So this is what the sweep looks like. And I'm going to break it down into two parts. Okay, you sweep it through. You want that 90-degree angle between your hip and your foot here, or your this leg, 90 degrees. How do you get to that position? All right, so what I found when teaching many clients is that's a tight position to get into. They can't get into it. So I'm going to break it down, and this is one of my simple steps that I break down so you can do it a little bit easier, and it'll be a little bit easier to learn. So what you're going to do is instead of sweeping all the way through, you're going to break it down to two parts. You're going to take your foot, touch this other foot, and then now this knee right here is going to drive. You're going to drive it back towards your elbow here, or this arm. So touch, drive it through. As you can see, I'm in that 90-degree angle. I'm in the same 90-degree angle as I was when I just swept it through. The part here is you're able to break it down between touch, all right, and then hip through. That's the angle you want to have. So what do you do in this position from here? All right, this is when you're going to hinge down. You're going to hinge down onto your foot. This foot back here, this foot, this one right here, your toes pointing. You're not planted. You need that strength from your toes and the stability and strength. And because a planted foot doesn't give you that. You want toes flexed, planted, hinge down. From here, abs engaged, you're going to hinge up. All right, so you should have that 90-degree angle still. All right, so your arm's going to get tired, trust me, when you do it overhead. But that's part of what the get up is. It's a shoulder training. It's an extra shoulder strength or stabilizer. Your shoulder will get tired, especially when you hold it for a long duration like that. So real quick, before I get into the next step, I want you to make sure that I cover two options for this sweep through. So you want to get, ideally what you're trying to get into is a lunge position, all right? So you're lunged here, okay? Lunge position, because then you're going to stand up. Okay, you would just stand up, top of the lunge, or get up, not lunge. Well, it is a top of lunge. Well, it's just part of the get up. Anyway, so you can either do, which is what I do, what I recommend is just sliding it around. That's going to protect this planted knee, especially if you have knee issues. Even if you don't have knee issues, I recommend doing this because constant grinding of the knee into the ground can cause knee issues, or you can vary both of them. You could do one or the other, but I would say this is the most important one because so the different other one is you sweep your knee around. I could already feel that's tight on my knee and it doesn't want to roll, especially if you're on a grippy ground like this, which you should be training in. The knee's not going to roll so well. Therefore, it's going to tighten up. So what I recommend, if you're unless you're training especially if you're training with shorts, and your skin's contacting the ground, you want to just sweep it around. All right. If you have warm-ups, it'll slide a little bit easier. Okay. So either that way or this way, and then of course you're standing up tall, glutes forward, legs locked. That's my next key tip. All right. So I'm going to start back here. When you're in this position, all right, you came from here, you've hinged, you're up, you're in this position. So from here, this is where you need to really activate your glutes, your front leg, your entire front leg, and you want to drive from the back of your foot. That's why your toes planted onto that front leg. Your front foot should be flexed, fully flexed on the ground. Fully flexed, fully planted, gripping the ground. Because you're driving, you're going from the ground with, ideally when you get to it, a weight overhead, you have to really drive from that toe, channel that energy to your front leg, and the front leg, your entire hamstring, your glute, that's going to get you up. All right, so you get into that position, drive from that back foot, switch your weight a little bit forward, grip the floor with your toes, ideally train barefoot or minimal shoes, flat foot, drive it up, lock it at the top. Your hips should be fully forward, glutes locked, hips flexed, knees locked, everything's engaged. This is the top of the get up. All right, let's check in that shoe. As you can see, it hasn't fallen. If my hand were to come down here, if I'm going to the actual get up, it's going to fall. That's why I want you to grab a shoe and do this when you're practicing this. All right, so from the top. All right, once you've fully engaged your glutes, you've come to the top, fully locked out at the top. So your hips are going to come forward. You're going to lock out, engage. All right, make sure you have clothing that can flex. These aren't that flexible, so I'm moving them up a little. Fully flex your glutes, hips forward, lock it out. All right. And then at the top, you want to ask yourself, can you come down safely? If not, set the bell down, or the shoe in this case, and you go back, you start from the bottom. All right, you want to be able to get down safely without any issues, all right? And it could be fatiguing, especially if you're doing higher reps or longer duration of time under tension with the get up. Let me check my mic here. I did a video the other day with the get up and the mic went out, so making sure, just checking. All right, so when you're at the top of the get up, all right, here you go. Ask yourself, can I come down? All right, yes, I can. This is where you're going to back step and reverse the movement. All right, this is where this foot comes into play. It's most important. This leg, this foot, you want to slide it back, but you want to slide it back with enough space to where you can slowly lunge back down without your knee coming too far over your toes. All right, nothing against knees over toes, but in this situation, if you don't have the flexibility and the mobility of your ankle, and it's limited, if you're too far forward, you don't have that flexion, your heel's going to come up. If your heel comes up, your stability's lost. All right, then you're on your toes and you're just shaking. So what I like to do, that's why I recommend lunge back far enough, sweep, so your knee should be tracking over your ankle, not your toe, okay? Coming down, soft knee, all right? See how my foot's flat on the ground. All right, that's the back lunge, okay? The key thing here with the back lunge is give yourself more space back than you need. So I'm gonna step back here. I know that's not enough. I'm gonna slide back with my toe. You can step back, lift your foot, or I recommend sliding back and then slowly lowering. This knee you shouldn't even hear, you shouldn't feel it, it should slightly tap the ground. You don't want to start banging your knees, all right? So once you're in that position, all right, you've come from the top, you've slid back, you slowly tap that knee. Now we're going back to the reverse. All right, what did we do here? We need to go back into that 90-degree angle, right? We could either come here or we can sweep around, all right? I recommend coming here, like I said, but for the sake of the video, so you can see my angle better, I'm going to sweep my knee this way, and I can already feel it's a little tight because it grips the ground. So And I'll show you the opposite way as well. So, or the other option, slide back, down, knee soft, and then sweep it around. Open it up. When you come down here, the only time you're not looking up at the shoe or the kettlebell is when you're all the way up, look straight ahead, and then when you're coming back down. Okay? Otherwise, you're looking back up at the bow. Remember, you're going to have a weight overhead. Sweep. Okay? This is where you need to get feedback from your hip, your thigh, and the ground. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to find your hip here. If you get that 90-degree angle correct and it's right, you're able to hinge nicely. If it's not, your hinge isn't going to work right and you're going to be off. That's why it's important to sweep and slide. All right? Find that hip. You're looking up at your shoe or the weight. Hinge down. Back. Just remember the hinge we started with. It's just a reverse. Then you take your hand. Don't take your eye off the weight. Slide it down your thigh. Weight's right here. Fully lengthened arm. All right? Now you're going to shift your weight forward slightly. Okay? And this is going to vary based on how you do your movement. You either to move your foot out or leave it where it is. I know I need to slightly rotate my foot out, so that'll come as you practice and you'll know what you can do best or what you need to do best. From here, I'm looking straight at the shoe. I need to go into the sweep again. All right, what do? This is the sweep, right through it here. That's how it looks, all right? Again, you can break that down to two parts. So the reverse, sit back, toe to toe again, or foot to foot, and then lengthen out. The only problem with this is it's a little tight because you're gonna have to slide this way. Ideally, you wanna have your chest up and facing forward. So what I recommend is you're gonna break them apart together and up on the way up, but then try to do the full sweep through on the way down. So sweep all the way through, keep that chest up. You'll know when you're in the right position, when your chest is up, this leg's fully locked, fully straight, unless you have a hyperextended arm like me, but full locked elbow, full lat engagement, full shoulder packed, fully packed shoulder, and then you're ready to go. So your chest is up. From here, all right, you're planted, you're looking up. Obviously, you're still looking up at the kettlebell. From here, if you feel like you're a little tight here and you don't have a lot of space, what you can do is walk your fingers out while leaving them on the ground. Never lift, because remember, you're going to have a weight overhead. Walk overhead, walk them out, okay? If you need some more space, you should have about 2 feet of space. And this is where I want you to focus on your downward descent of the get up. So you're going to roll onto your elbow, chest is going that way, this direction, okay? And you're going to press away. You're not just going to collapse the shoulder. You're keeping that shoulder packed, lats engaged, and you're going to press, press, press using your core, slowly and gently laying down onto the ground. So press, 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 slow, 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 nice and easy, all right? And that's the get up there. I'll show you what that looks like from this side. Okay, so you can see me how soft I lay down here. So I'm here, shoes here. I roll my chest forward this way, and I press away, looking up at that bell. Slow, 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 nice and easy. You shouldn't bang your shoulder or bang your back. It should be nice, smooth transition while keeping your chest up. All right, the important part here is keep that chest up and don't collapse. This is what you should not do. Do not collapse it and just roll into it. That's not how you do it. That risks your shoulder injury. Remember, you have this shoulder as well, which is stabilizing the weight. If you collapse it, and it's going to risk the injury of that shoulder. You can sprain it. Or it's going to also cave your chest in, meaning your spine's coming inward, and it can even rotate. So you want to keep it straight, nice straight back, nice straight spine, nice strong shoulder. By doing that, by keeping that chest up, rolling, see my chest is still up. It still stays up, pointing the sky as I come down. Slow, slow, slow. Nice and easy. Then you take it, set it down, roll it to the side. All right, that is the get up with the shoe. All right, practice, practice, practice. Get this down. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to help you out. And then you can move on to the actual get up with the kettlebell, which I'll show you right now. This is how it looks with the get up with the kettlebell. So a little bit different setup because you have the bell. All right. Bell is right by your side. You have to get the bell from the ground to this position here. All right. And up overhead. How do you do that? This is where it's different from the shoe. You're going to come to the side, grip your hand over the bell, 90-degree angle right by your hip. You're going to roll it. And then with this hand and pressing it up with your chest, the side with the bell, press it overhead, and then you're locked out overhead. All right. And then you go into your setup position. All right. So I just wanted to show you that part so you could see it from the side. I'm going to show you this angle, and I'll show you how it looks all the way from the full get up. Here we go. So starfish. Remember that first word? Starfish. Here it is. I use this foot. I roll. These feet come together. All right. I'm rolling the bell here. Okay. I'm pressing it overhead, locking the elbow out. Okay. From here, I'm going to plant my hand, plant this foot, find that 45-degree angle. Come overhead. I'm going to grip the ground. Remember, I'm doing the rolls. I'm doing that roll. I'm doing that roll. All right. So from here, flex this foot, press with this leg, pull myself onto that imaginary stick up onto my elbow, just like this. Power it up. Look up at the bell. Never keep your eyes off that bell. Okay. Onto the hand. Pack it in. All right. Now this is where you go either here and sweep it up here, or you sweep it through, just like I showed you. You just sweep it all the way through. You want that 90-degree angle. Okay. Come back into that hinge. Hinge it up. Sweep that foot around. All right. Good, strong lunge position. Make sure you're nice and lined up. Drive that weight onto the front foot. Stand up tall. Lock it out. Glutes forward. Fully vertical forearm or vertical arm, as you can see, straight up overhead. All right, ask yourself, can you come down? Yes, I can. I sweep it back. I tap my knee softly. All right, and then I sweep it back around. Then I reverse the process. I find my hip. All right, I'm looking back up the bell. So remember, once you come from here, as the truck comes by, give it a sec. Live video. And you sweep around. Look up at the bell. All right, so from here, looking up, sweeping around, find my hip, hinge, slide down my thigh. There's the ground. I shift my weight. I could tell my shoulder's getting fatigued. It's already fatiguing because I have a weight, and it's a long time with this bell overhead. It's the beauty of the kettlebell. It's a great shoulder strengthener. So from here, I'm sweeping through, back onto that elbow, and as I just mentioned, chest up as you control it down, slow, 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 and power it down. Bring it down safely, and you set it down. All right, that is the get up. That is the get up with the weight. That's the get up with the shoe. That's how you do it. That's from the beginning to the end, breaking it down, things you need to focus on, all the while going through each step by step through the simple process that I've tried to lay it out as simple as possible, because the get up is a complex movement exercise, complex kettlebell exercise, but it's an excellent kettlebell exercise for full body strength development. You go through multiple planes of movement. You're hinging, you're twisting, you're rotating, you have shoulder stability, shoulder strength, your grip strength, your legs are working, your glutes are firing, everything's working in the get up. Everything. Multiple muscle groups. It's an excellent exercise. That's why I wanted to make this video, so you know how to do it correctly and safely. You can start applying and doing get-ups regularly, consistently in your routine, so you can start reaping the benefits in strength and increased mobility, increased flexibility, and overall strength, rotational strength, core strength, and different range of motions, planes of motion strength, because we all move through different planes of motion throughout our days, because this exercise is a fully functional exercise, and that's why I want you to start applying it to your day. And if you haven't, or applying it to your training routine, if you have any questions about the get up, let me know in the comments below. Shoot them out. Let me know. I'll coach you. I'll guide you. I'll help you along the way. Even if you want further kettlebell coaching, KB coaching in the comments, and we'll talk. We'll get you doing the get up and other kettlebell exercises correctly, so you can get fit, get strong, reach that goal, and be the best you can be using the awesome kettlebell, just like I have, and enjoy the process. All right, so shoot me a comment if in the comments for questions or coaching questions, anything you need. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Train strong, expect success, get after it. Oh, before I forget, real quick, if you want a 5 to 10 minute full body kettlebell workout that you can do with the kettlebell, applying the kettlebell to that aspect, so you never can say you don't have time for a workout. In as little as 10 minutes, you can do this workout absolutely free in the description, or KB5 in the comments. I'll shoot that over to you. Grab that if you want it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video right here. Train strong, expect success, practice this get up. I want you to get this down. Rewatch this video, save this video, share it with anyone you know who's trying to get up or wants to learn and know how to do it correctly and safely. All right, I've learned this get up. I learned this from the best. I learned this from many instructors through Strong First. Zara Horton is one of them, learning how to do that get up safely and effectively, which is maybe stronger and better and fitter. And I want the same for you. So practice this exercise, rewatch this video. I'll see you on the next video. Train strong, expect success, enjoy the process. You got this. And I'll see you soon. Get after it.